Today we've got the games that you need to put in your collection. It's our list of the top 8 games released so far this year.
There are huge sequels, inventive puzzlers, hardcore PC expansions, and there's even a PSP title. These are the games we know you need to be playing. X-Play starts right now.
Hello and welcome to X-Play, the show that comes on after Attack of the Show. I'm Morgan Webb.
And I'm Adam Sessler. We're coming to you from the G4 Studios in Los Angeles on Thursday, June 12th. We're about halfway through the year, so today we're taking stock of things.
We have got the top 8 of 2008, the best games we reviewed so far this year. I mean, like every spring, we expected a wasteland of shovelware and licensed crap to anger us until the fall. But this year was a big surprise with many inventive, solid titles. So let's get right to it.
Now, I don't care what the hell comes out before the end of the year. I doubt there's anything that's going to top Grand Theft Auto 4. If something does, we will do cartwheels. The storyline for Grand Theft Auto 4 is the best of the GTA series, and certainly is the best written. Your main character this time around is Nico. Nico has traveled to America from an unnamed Eastern European country after things there went sour for him. His story is told without any real irony, which is a first for the series, and the game seems to actually have something to say about Nico and his acquaintances.
I killed people, smuggled people, sold people.
And you don't worry about your soul?
The visuals have been vastly improved, especially in the lighting department. There are still minor pop-up horizon issues, but nowhere near as much as San Andreas. Car physics are more realistic, leading to more in-depth driving gameplay and extremely entertaining crashes, which tend to end in violent explosions. Interacting with people has also become more lifelike. People will react to the specific body part you injure on them. There are tons of different people to interact with in Grand Theft Auto 4, and most of your communication is done by cell phone.
Hey, Roman.
Call up a buddy for a boys' night out, or give a girl a ring and take her out bowling. Nurturing your connections will eventually pay off with bonuses like helicopter access and illegal gun sales. With all the upgrades to the ambiance comes a jumping gameplay control, but he's a cut above his predecessors when it comes to gunplay. GTA 4 uses a cover system reminiscent of Gears of War. The auto-targeting still isn't very good at prioritizing threats. It's the one part of the game that doesn't quite hit the mark. The game auto-saves after every mission, freeing you up to experiment without fear of losing progress. But of all the new features in GTA 4, there's one above all others that everyone wants to know about: multiplayer. You can party up with other players, which dumps you into a free-for-all lobby where you kill each other while the host picks game modes. Cops and Crooks is just what it sounds like, and marks the first time in the series we get to play as Liberty City's finest. There's also more traditional game types like straight-up car racing, or our favorite, blowing each other up with rocket launchers for 10 minutes. In summary, Grand Theft Auto 4 is amazing. It takes what is arguably the signature franchise of the last generation and completely overhauls it while retaining the GTA feel. A 5 out of 5.
In Bizarro World, and by that I mean Japan, the PSP is king and Monster Hunter is a cultural phenomenon. Over here, the PSP is a glorified piracy machine, but despite that, the handheld that's one nub short of greatness still puts out the occasional gem, like God of War: Chains of Olympus.
Kratos has faced demons before. He's stared down the most devious of creatures. He's battled enemies from all over mythology, but nothing could prepare him for his latest destination, the PSP. Boy, is Kratos gonna be pissed.
What treachery is this?
No treachery here, Kratos. This is God of War: Chains of Olympus.
I have given enough. Now take these nightmares from my head.
Calm down, Kratos. It's a good game. Don't be sad. Kratos has been teaching us about mythology through 2 big-time games. And if you've enjoyed the statue-smashing antics of the bitter Kratos before, you'll love him just as much here. Of course, some people love Kratos more than others. Think of Chains of Olympus as a prequel to the other titles. Not like a Star Wars Episode 1 debacle, something else. Kratos is still in service to the gods here. He's not the god of war yet, but he did kill his family. That hasn't changed. That's why he's so angry all the time.
He was haunted by a strange melody.
Huh, was it this strange melody? Now, even though Kratos has been shrunken down to PSP size, he's still got those weapons. He's still got that sensitive brutality. He's still got that, as the French say, I don't know what.
I won't take your riches, but I will take your life.
If you have a PSP, God of War Chains of Olympus will definitely entertain you. We promise. The graphics are top-notch, even for a PSP. Top-notch. Is Chains of Olympus the best God of War game? Sounds no. But it is the best God of War in the PSP. That I can promise.
The gods have broken their word to me many times. Forgive me if I find it hard to believe your promises.
Well, believe this. God of War Chains of Olympus gets a 5 out of 5. That should make you happy, Kratos.
Remember, you can get the latest reviews, interviews, and gaming news even if you're not in front of the TV. All you have to do is download our podcast. Just search for XPlay on iTunes.
While the Wii may be the hottest console on the market, its catalog of games doesn't exactly fill us with excitement. Now, thankfully, January brought us the most insane game ever to hit a Nintendo system since Killer 7, which makes sense because the same person made it. Here's Suda51's No More Heroes. Welcome to Santa Destroyed, California. Your guide, a sadistic, skinny slob that wants to crudely claw anything in range of his underdeveloped libido.
If I become #1, will you do it with me?
He's Travis Touchdown, and he's got a story to tell. For those of you who played Suda51's Killer 7, you'll know that the playing field for No More Heroes will be from a dimension wildly different than our own. This time around, though, Suda has left behind the incomprehensible story and rigid rail system that made Killer 7 rough around the wound's edges. The world of No More Heroes is an open one. The town of Santa Destroy offers a trembling fistful of interactive eccentrics, all willing to keep Travis busy upgrading his skills and doing very odd jobs. The story is, Travis must take down a number of assassins that rank above him in order to gain status as top death dealer for hire. From American wastelands to hentai, these characters bring impressively developed oddity and true intimidation to every showdown. Game mechanics are solid as Travis develops his lethal abilities to better landscape the bone and tissue confronting him. If your sword's a little limp on power, you can always take a familiar cue and engorge it with energy. Death is hilariously over the top. Bodies collapse in sections, heads pop like released balloons amidst a symphony of screams from larynx-free throats. From the brown zap dropping humanity of same points to the incredible characters, story, and fight mechanics. We give No More Heroes a 5 out of 5.
Coming up on XPlay, our 8 games to own in 08 special continues. We have some brothers that love to brawl, a wolf that loves to paint, and some blocks that love to go boom. Make some room on your shelf. These games are must-haves for any collection. All this and more after the break. Stay tuned.
Want to ride my tail? Hey, we'll cost you a dime. Indie Games begins in 60 seconds. Welcome to Indie Games, your minute's worth of free online fun. You know that classic Hollywood fighter pilot move where they trick 2 approaching missiles into hitting each other? Well, how do you know if you're any good at that? Well, try Missile Matador. You start each level with an increasing number of warheads aimed straight at you. And your mission is to draw these missiles into collision courses with each other without getting hit. So now you'll know what you're doing the next time you commandeer a fighter from the carrier deck and take on some crazy Maverick mission to, of course, save the world and hopefully get the girl. Hey, hit me up online at g4tv.com/indiegames for links to this and other free fun. Until next time, I'm Kevin Pereira. What do you want for nothing?
It's on the web.
If you aren't watching Code Monkeys,
holy poke crap in a box,
then you're missing out
Give me the best boob job $200 can buy.
on the best 8-bit animated series in history.
Quick, help me put them in my mouth.
It's bigger,
I put my action in your ear.
what?
better,
I am cock goblin.
and smarter
Smell my finger.
than last season.
I'm home.
Where's my dinner, bitch?
Ow!
Catch an all-new Code Monkeys, Sunday night at 10, part of G4's Stay Out of the Sun Summer.
Welcome back to X-Play's special episode counting down the top 8 of 2008, the best games so far this year. We continue with another stellar Wii title. This one's a first-party affair, and it is the biggest piece of fan service ever created, Super Smash Bros. Brawl.
Super Smash Bros. Brawl is quite simply everything anyone could love about Nintendo rolled into one ridiculously jam-packed game. From the huge character roster, to the inventive new stages, to the extensive adventure mode, it's everything Melee was, but bigger and better. The base game remains the same. Highest score or last man standing wins. The formula works and the balance remains as tight as always. Other than a slight speed reduction, this is the same gameplay that has made the Smash Bros. Series a perennial favorite. For the friendless, there's the added bonus of near-flawless online play. Brawl's most important new feature works like a charm and is so lag-free, it's hard to tell you're not playing with people on your couch. Lurking on the solo side is the Subspace Emissary, an expansive adventure for 1 or 2 players that takes you through the rudimentary storyline of the game. This 8 to 10 hour romp feels a little like Kingdom Hearts with all the cameos and crossovers going on. Conveniently, playing through this mode will unlock all the characters by the end of the tale, which is good for people who don't want to play hundreds of versus matches just to unlock their favorite fighters. Go! And of course you have the event challenges, classic mode, the stage editor, hundreds of trophies and stickers to collect, dozens of music tracks to unlock. There's enough content in Brawl to keep you busy for months, if not years. Clearly, even in this era of minigame collections and voting channels, Nintendo has not forsaken the hardcore. Super Smash Bros. Brawl opens 5 cans of whoop-ass out of 5. If you're shocked to see 2 Wii games make a list, then sit down because there's more. Up next is a DS game by Square Enix and has nothing to do with Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest. It's an original game and inventive. We all know the recipe for an RPG. Take a young guy, put him up against some evil beings, throw in some crystals, a few swords, and a hefty dollop of teen angst, and there you go. Package it and sell to Moody Kid. But that's not the case with the more modern and much more complex The World Ends With You. Don't worry, there's still a hearty dose of angst, but this game brings the genre to a whole new level.
Just go the hell away.
You play as Neku, a moody, misunderstood teen. You suddenly find yourself in an alternate Tokyo where you must fight to exist against a group called the Reapers. In your quest, you collect pins that give you powers like fire and mind reading. But it's not just about collecting pins and following fashion trends. There's also powering up pins, imprinting people's minds, mingling, eating, and digesting food, following trends, and much, much more.
Shut up.
And while it sounds overwhelming, really, it's a refreshing take on a stale genre. As a duo, you'll fight creatures known as the Noise. The unique combat system employs both screens of the DS, and at first it can be quite daunting. But even if you struggle with controlling both of your players simultaneously, the game is forgiving. But monsters and magic aside, this is a brilliantly innovative game. And as you play, you'll see that Neku is not just your generic RPG hero.
Stop talking.
The smart writing and sharp style make this a DS must-play. The World Ends With You receives 5 text messages. out of 5.
Well, the Nintendo love train continues with our next game, Okami for the Wii. Yes, is a re-release, but honestly, this game is so good, I don't care. If you missed out the first time, you have no excuse to pass it up again.
Has it really been a year and a half since Okami first came out on the PS2? Well, Wii owners, if you didn't have a chance to play it back then, we have great news for you. Okami is one of the best gaming experiences you can have anywhere, period. The game tells the story of Amaterasu, a long-dormant goddess in the form of a wolf. You see, when the evil demon Orochi escapes from his seal, he curses the land. The wood sprite Sakuya summons you from your slumber, and it's up to you to save the world. As if you couldn't tell from the last few sentences, this is a very Japanese game. From the folklore-infused storyline to the ink and wash painting visuals. And because they're highly stylized, the graphics hold up very well on the Wii. The fact that this game isn't in high def doesn't hurt the overall look. At any time, players can choose to use their celestial brush, which allows them to add to or interact with the environment. The major difference in the Wii version is that you can now use the motion-sensitive remote. This seems like it would make brush strokes more accurate, but in fact the opposite is true. You'll often have to draw the same thing over and over again to get your splashes to register correctly. And unfortunately, there isn't any new content here. You'd think with the extra year and a half of development time, you'd get something fresh, but sadly, it is just the original adventure. However, that adventure is still one of the best around. The exquisite graphics, satisfying gameplay, and engaging storyline make this as close to perfect as you can reasonably expect. In fact, it's so good that it makes up for the slightly worse drawing control and lack of new content. Even now, it's still something to howl about. Okami for the Wii, just like the original version, gets a 5 out of 5.
G4 Stay Out of the Sun Summer continues with Code Monkeys. The smash hit animated comedy of 8-bit proportions returns for an all-new second season. You can catch the critically acclaimed comedy this Sunday night at 10, only on G4. Check out g4tv.com/CodeMonkeys for info and updates.
Now, when X-Play returns, we have got the last 2 games on our list of the top 8 games so far this year. Spoiler alert, Jumper Griffin's story didn't make the cut.
Really? That's the sad reality of being a half-hour show.
The big three are battling for next-gen supremacy. Who will shape the future? Only G4 is there to find out. E3 08 Live. Coverage begins July 14th.
Hi.
Out of the Sun with G4 all summer long.
Welcome back to X-Play. We're counting down the top 8 games to 2008 so far. Next is an expansion to one of our favorite RTS games. Galactic Civilizations 2 Twilight of Arnor is the last add-on for the series, and it goes out with a bang.
There are plenty of things you could do to pass some time, but who wants to enjoy the outdoors or complete court-mandated community service when there's a new expansion for Galactic Civilizations 2? Galactic Civilizations 2 Twilight of Arnor is the new addition to this epic turn-based strategy series, and there are more new toys and features than you can shake a Death Star at. And your universe just got a whole lot bigger. The new maps are about 50% larger than before. But if you want to go nuts and expand on this expansion, the game offers 6 different editors for you to build your own scenarios. You can create everything from custom maps to your own technology trees. It's still the same 12 factions as before, but now with a lot more personality. The individual tech trees for each race really give each civilization a unique style. And ahoy! You also get a whole slew of new ships. And there's even a new way to win. If you build a space station on an Ascension crystal, you earn 1 point per crystal per turn. A mere 1,000 points later, you've won the game. Sure, it's a pretty long game, but it is possible. And can't the homeless ladle their own soup?
It's bigger, it's better, and thanks to improved graphics, it's even prettier. And while we'd like to see multiplayer, this is still a must-have expansion for fans of the game. Galactic Civilizations 2 Twilight of Arnor destroys 5 planets out of 5.
It is time to make our list of the top 8 complete. Steven Spielberg's new partnership with Electronic Arts produced an incredibly addictive puzzler that really surprised us. Boom blocks may seem simple on the outside, but it'll keep your guests entertained and your arms sore for days. Party game of the year, anyone?
Okay, listen up, people. I'm only gonna say this once. I know each of you have your favorite genre of game, be it RTS, RPG, or FPS, but we like all kinds of games here at X-Play. Yes, even the ones you yourself might not. Keep that in mind during this review of Boom Blocks for the Wii. Boom Blocks is essentially a great physics engine with a seemingly unending series of puzzles to nut your brain. That's it. No high-speed car chases, no blood-oozing thrill rides, just you, some blocks, and Sir Isaac Newton's theory of gravity. Despite the simplicity of the concept, though, there is a ton to do here. There are 3 single-player modes. In Adventure mode, the challenges start off simple enough, but if you want to get the gold medal, you'll have to know the puzzles inside and out. Explore mode helps you get a handle on all the mechanics of the game. The more you explore, the more tools you unlock for the 3rd mode, Create mode. This is exactly what it sounds like. Multiplayer is good for up to 4 people, and this is really where Boom Blocks excels. You heard it here first, people. This is the new party game for the Wii. Or at least it should be. This is the kind of gameplay that really shines on the Wii. It's simple yet rich, friendly yet challenging, and a hell of a lot of fun to play with your friends. Trust us on this one. And this gets me back to my original point. If you are a die-hard, guts and gore, chainsaw-in-the-face gamer, there's a slight chance you just may not love this game. But hey, some people like apples and others like bananas. I like Satsumas. And we here at X-Play like Boom Blocks. And that's why we're awarding it with a well-deserved 5 out of 5.
Coming up tomorrow on X-Play, we take you beyond the King of Kong for a half-hour special that reveals what happened when the camera stopped rolling. You'll get the whole story straight from the film's director, Seth Gordon. Plus, you'll find out what happened to Steve Wiebe since the film's release, and if he's going to take another shot at reclaiming his record. Then we'll reveal never-before-seen footage of Steve's arch-rival and current Donkey Kong champ, Billy Mitchell. It all starts at a special time, 9 p.m. Don't miss it.
And there's still 6 months to go. I'm shocked. 2008 doesn't suck.
See you next time. Thanks for watching X-Play.